Okay, so I decided I'm going to go ahead and actually make a video for a dashboard because there's just so many pieces to it. But I would like to start off with kind of doing an overview of the screen or the window. We have filters, which are the course, group, and students. I wouldn't pay too much attention to course and student. I would definitely focus on group because earlier we talked about creating groups, so you can actually just focus on the one group or the class that you're working with. Remember, when I say class, we have to understand in Edgenuity, courses equals class. So it's kind of that's kind of just the language of it. They also have a display. You can learn how to work with that on your own. There's little things you could take out, but I would never take out alert and user ID, um, mainly because you're going to need those for other functions later. So, looking at the screen, what I want to kind of point out is a couple of things that are super important. I'm going to start from the right side and head left. Progress, you got to keep an eye on that daily to see if they're actually working on something. Um, Sometimes you'll get a big old gap as far as like they work and they jump from like say 2.5 to like 7. Well, I mean, that means they worked a lot. But if they go from 4.2 to 4.3 after a week, well, they haven't worked a lot. And to find out how long it's been since they worked, we go to the next column, which is days since last action. If you kind of look right here, you can, well, this is actually, this screen, this whole thing is the school since 2020. So there's a lot of, you can tell right here, there's a lot of people in here that that should be deleted, but it's a good example to get, at least get you guys started. So days since last action, you can tell that this student apparently did log in recently. I guess they're working because they haven't been disabled, but they're trying to work just to get some work done. um, this target completion is kind of a combination of the start date and the target date. A lot of the teachers as a practice used to, and we haven't changed it yet, is they have the start date on a certain day, and they're supposed to give the student the whole semester or even the whole year to finish their course. So this thing doesn't change very much, but in theory what it is you give them a start date, let's say in August, and you want them done by December. Well, this target completion tells you how much they've done as far as during that semester and if they're keeping pace. As long as this target completion and the progress stay about the same, then you're good. If they're really way off, then it's not so good. Um, the other thing I want to mention is the grade. You have to make sure to keep an eye on the grade because some of those grades have to be at a certain um, grade level, because the counselors will tell you, hey, they can average pass, but they need a 60 to average pass. And the last thing I kind of want to, well, yeah, mention is for this part of the video is your alerts. As you can tell, there's like different pieces on here, and there's actually some different colors. The red one means that they need some retakes, and so you can just give them retakes. Usually we used to give them like 2 or 3, so they get a chance to retake a test. Also, the yellow means that something needs to be graded on my part or the teacher's part. Um, there's also an orange. Let me see if I can find you an orange. I don't think I can, but an orange means that you uh, that you have something that needs to be unlocked. So just like you can tell right here on this one, if I click it, they're going to give me a choices. Well, you're going to see the word unlock, and you can unlock it or you can review it, because they'll have review, unlock, and then I think it's cancel. So it's basically the same thing, but you see unlock, you just do the unlock part, and it's going to tell you, do you want to do a default? Just go ahead and give them the default. It's the easiest thing to do. So far, we've been doing it for the last 5 years, so we haven't changed it. Now, if they change it, then you can go with whatever time you want. Now, with all of that said, I mean, I covered the alert, I've covered the grade, I've covered the last day since days since last action, and also the progress, which are your main ones. Now, how this works is the best thing to do is when you want to work with your group, you go to group, you pick the group that you're working with or you want to look at, and for most of the teachers, they only have one course. Now, if your credit recovery, you're going to have a whole bunch of classes according to your period. So let's say I do enrolled and I punch apply. So now I've got all the people that are working that I have in my enrolled class. Now, the reason why there's such a big list is earlier to kind of give you guys an idea of what's going on as far as all the alerts. I had to change the course filters, and what it should have been, it should have been the status of active. And you can tell right here we got active, disabled, complete. So if I'm really looking for the completed courses for a student, it's good to go to complete. Now, I'll talk about it. We'll talk about it later. But once they finish a course, they're gonna have to be marked as completed, and they'll disappear from dashboard. But if you pick completed, it will show you all the ones that are completed. So for right now, I'm gonna punch active and apply, and now you see that it changed the. In fact, it changed the number of screens I had to deal with. So there's only two of them. You ideally want to always have no alerts, so that way you know everything's good. It's really their part that needs to be done, which is daily work. But like right here, I have two students that I need to grade something. I would click it, go to review, look to see what's pending. Is this a project? So I'm going to click that, and I'm going to go to attempt. Oh, this is kind of hard to get to. Let me try to close this one. Sorry. And then I'm going to go to attempt. Here I can download their PDF to see how well they did on the project, and then I'd give them a grade and punch submit. So there are different things that you're going to grade. So you can tell. I know this is kind of like a real extensive video, but you got projects, you have assignments, you have summaries, introduction, warm ups. Most of this stuff will be automatically graded or not counted. But if you sometimes on quizzes, the reason why they would have a quiz, I'll just kind of show you if I can get some of the stuff out of the way. Um, there may be some questions in here. I don't think this one has one, but there may be some questions that actually you have to look at to see if the answer is acceptable, and then you give them a one for you know for their point, or you just give them a zero, which is no point. And you can see that the score did take for this person, this student, and that's kind of the more important part about dashboard is keeping up with the alerts, keeping up with their progress, and keeping up with the days since they last logged in.